live for the Racing Hotspot Weekend Roundup. I am your host, Devin Poslusny. We are indoors today because A, we have a screen here to use, and also B, because it is raining outside. So let's get started right away here. Here's your show lineup. Motorsports in 60, Global Rallycross, RH Blog Report, NASCAR, Racing Hotspot Points Championship, and Final Lap. Dave Poslusny will be with us when we go to the RH Points Championship. Let's get started right away here. Motorsports in 60 starts now. NASCAR Nationwide Series raced at Watkins Glen over the weekend. Here's your top 5. Finishing 5th, Elliott Sadler. 4th, Regan Smith. 3rd, Brian Vickers, Sam Hornish Jr., and Brad Keselowski. That's your rest of the field, rest of the top 5. The next race is next weekend. They will be racing, I want to say at Iowa. No, Mid-Ohio. They're racing at Mid-Ohio next weekend. And if we look at our, I think we have 20 or so seconds. We're down there. Global Rallycross, I guess you could say now, Mr. 5-time in Global Rallycross. Because Thomas Heikkinen has now won 5 back-to-back wins. That's crazy, even in Global Rallycross. So Mr. 5-time, here's your top 3. Sorel Isaacson. Sorry if I mispronounced that, Mr. Isaacson. Tanner Faust finished 2nd, and Tomas Heikkinen won. RH Blog Report. Here's our blog report. Racing Hotspot Blog Report. The Gen 6 cars performed great today at its second road course race, Watkins Glen. Last 2 years, Kyle Busch was there in the end, but was not able to finish the job. The next race is Michigan. See you then. Just close that out there. NASCAR, and then we're going to take a break. NASCAR, Kyle Busch finished the job. Last 4 years, it's always been Kyle Busch, Brad Keselowski, and Marcus Ambrose. Except Kyle Busch was always taken out, and it was left with Ambrose and Keselowski, and Ambrose always finished the job. But now, here you are. Kyle Busch won the race. Juan Pablo Montoya finished 5th. Carl Edwards finished 4th. Martin Truex Jr. finished 3rd. Brad Keselowski finished 2nd, and Kyle Busch won the race. Now we are going to take a quick break. And then when we return, Dave Poslusny will be right here. And we'll have your RH Points Championship and Final Lap. And then we'll be done. We'll be right back. Welcome back live here to Racing Hotspot Weekend Roundup. Now we bring in Dave Poslusny from in his, I guess you could say, his home back in New Hampshire. How you doing, Dave?
Good. How you doing, everybody?
So yeah, let's get started right back where we were. RH Points Championship here. So you had Jeff Gordon for 5th, Kyle Busch for 4th, Kurt Busch for 3rd, Juan Pablo Montoya for 2nd, and Marcus Ambrose for the win. And I had Marcus Ambrose for 5th, Tony Stewart for 4th, Kyle Busch for 3rd, Jimmy Johnson for 2nd, and Brad Keselowski for the win. So
you won again.
What?
I said, so you won again.
Yes.
Both sets of picks were actually rather good picks. Because exciting race. I don't know what you thought of it, but I had a good time watching that. I had to watch a DVR because I wasn't home during the actual race. But yeah, it was a pretty exciting race, and I'm really liking Watkins Glen.
Me too. I think
we got to get out there one day.
Well, the issue that we've been having lately is I'm usually here in Florida during the Watkins Glen race. So
Right.
I guess one year I'd have to skip Florida or come down later. I don't know. So.
And you know what? What would be really cool, and I think we've talked about this before, and so it is a pretty big subject. I think they should Watkins Glen into the chase. If they're going to do a road course during the chase, it should be the one. Because ultimately, I think it's not to knock Sonoma. Sonoma's a great track, but I do believe that Watkins Glen is a more exciting track. And could literally, that could do some serious stirring up of the chase.
Yes, it definitely could. As we just saw today, not today, yesterday at the race, Jeff Gordon went from within the top 10 and he's now dropped out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, big change up. But then again, he definitely took a pretty hard hit there at the beginning. I felt bad. I would like to see him do better. I used to pick on Jeff Gordon a lot, but I kind of like him now at this point. But as I always say, there's no drivers I really dislike. Just those who win too damn much. That's hats I don't wear. Kyle can win as much as he wants. You see, I'm correct today. But yeah, Kyle can win as much as he wants. I'll never get angry. Actually, that's not true. Maybe 10 years from now, who knows? He's like a Jimmy Johnson that may get irritating then too. It's just nice to see multiple people win. And that he definitely cemented his points position yesterday, though.
Yes, he did.
And that's what, 3 wins for the season now?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the wild card is becoming terrific.
Yes, it is. Actually, you know what? Let's finish the points championship here. The way it ended up is Dave had 4th and 2nd, and I had 5th, 3rd, and 1st. So it's 12. Dave had 12, and I had 18. If we look at the standings here, Dave now has 354 points, and I have 318. And I edited some of the standings, like for the wild card races, highlighted in red. I chose 3 wild card races: Watkins Glen, Bristol, and Richmond. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. Now, where are these? I'm not seeing them on my screen.
You're gonna have to click on the link on the RH Points Championship that has Dave and then the numbers and Devin.
Okay.
If you click it.
The HTTPS?
What?
HTTPS thing?
Yes. Hold on. We can get fancy here and I can show you through.
Actually, it says I need permission again.
Oh jeez. I don't want to give you permission. Hold on. I think I might be able to share my screen. Okay, can you see me?
Hold on it. No, I cannot. I'm on the other thing. Hold on. Yeah, now I got it.
So here's the standings. You scroll up here. You have 354. I have 318. Yellow is the chase races and red is the wild card. I'm going to scroll down here. These are the 3 wild card races that I chose. Would you agree with them?
What do you mean, what do I agree with?
Never mind. We'll talk about that off camera. So yes, I chose 3 picks, 3 races leading up to the chase that I felt that were so-called wild card races, the standings could get spiced up a little bit. And I thought Watkins Glen, Bristol, and Richmond were 3 good ones.
Yeah, no, I agree. Watkins Glen's definitely one to mix it up. Pretty 10 to go. So is Bristol. So it's the same, relatively the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, I got pictures all over the screen now.
Yeah, I
Hey.
know. Hold on. There we go.
Hey, hello again.
I stopped sharing my screen with you. So yes, now we have one last slide here, final lap slide. But something to get on to is I'm going to go back to your picture. Something that everybody's been talking about in the NASCAR world is that should drivers be able to race outside of their NASCAR? Because as we saw with Tony Stewart, Monday night he broke his leg racing a sprint car race. And I don't know if you saw this, but everybody's been talking about should drivers be allowed to race other events.
Your father had mentioned it when he was over here the other day, and my personal opinion is I think the guy should be able to do whatever they want. It's like saying, I don't know, a pro football player can't play flag football with his kids. You know what I mean? That's the way I see it. What Tony does there is he's basically breeding next generation NASCAR drivers.
Mm-hmm.
By doing what he does and owning that track and all of that stuff, and them getting the experience with the driver like him, I think is very, very important. And unfortunately, accidents are gonna happen. It's just they happen. You know, there's nothing you can do about that. And it's unfortunate. It really is. But you know what? With the safety the way it is in most of your series, I think that it's really not that big an issue.
Okay.
Tony's injury was coincidentally just a really bad one because of the specific bones that were broken.
Mm-hmm.
And as you I'm sure, I don't know if you've seen any of the stories on it, but how when those bones break, basically, this is painful to say, it comes through. The bone comes out, so it tears the flesh and muscle and whatnot, and that's what's going to take him so long to recuperate. What I saw yesterday kind of scared me a little bit because they were talking about how the truth about his injuries is he's looking at 6 to 10 months, and that's right into next season.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess for the sponsors and whatnot that have him contracted, they want him behind the wheel, and no, I don't think he's gonna be for a little while. As far as they heal right.
Well, yeah.
But no, for all of my opinion, I think they should or could or should or shouldn't be able to, I guess is the best way to put it, to tell them they can't do that. Who's the young kid? He's up and coming. He was in the nationwide race, which was also a good race, by the way. He was in the nationwide race, and he's up and coming in trucks. Young kid. Looks like he's like, I don't know, like your age.
Kyle Larson?
Yes. He races dozens of different things, and nonstop. They actually were talking about him on Saturday, how he had actually, from Thursday to Saturday, had done 6,000 miles in flying. Because he was going from race to race to race, and then just to make sure he was there for the nationwide race. So how can you tell somebody like that they can't do it anymore? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just an opinion. I could be totally off on that. And I'm sure the sponsors are probably all over trying to get them to at least limit doing what they do.
Alright, well that will be this week's poll question on Facebook. Look it up, look for it, answer, let us know what you think out there.
I'd love to hear what people's got to say, I really do. I'm curious if they would agree with me or they think I'm crazy, because I've read all sorts of things on Facebook and whatnot, and there are a lot of people out there that feel they shouldn't be doing it. But I really don't.
Well, we actually forgot to do something before we did the show, so we're going to take a quick break. We have to make our picks. When we return, we'll have your picks for our RH Points Championship from Michigan, and then we'll have our final lap, and we'll be done. When we return, we'll be right back. Welcome back live here to Racing Hotspot Weekend Roundup. We made our picks here for Michigan. He picked first last week, so now I get to pick first. For 5th place, I have Brad Keselowski. 4th place, I have Carl Edwards. Clint Boyer for 3rd place, and Dave's probably going to say something to this. Jimmy Johnson for 2nd, and Greg Biffle for 1st. Dave had... What?
That's pretty good picks.
Thank you. For Dave, he has Kurt Busch for 5th place, Kyle Busch for 4th, Matt Kenseth for 3rd, Carl Edwards for 2nd, and Jeff Gordon for 1st. Those are pretty good picks.
Well, I'm going with Jeff Gordon for a long shot because he can still get back in it, but he's going to have to work hard and he's going to have to win. So we can, hope he gets in it.
Yep. Alright, so time to finish the show. Final lap here. IndyCar is off until August 25th, so is Formula 1. NASCAR Cape and Wheel Truck Series will race Saturday 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Fox Sports 1. Nationwide Series will race Saturday 3 p.m. Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course ESPN. NASCAR Sprint Cup Series will race Sunday 1 p.m. on ESPN. They'll be at Michigan. Global Rallycross is off until September 22nd. So yeah, there's our final lap, and we're good.
Okay.
The Fox Sports 1 is basically Speed Channel, so if you have Speed Channel, it's not going to change, just the name is going to change. And that's the trucks will...
That says of when, though? It's not like this week?
Saturday, yeah. Saturday, August 17th.
Now, have you heard anything about Fox Sports 2?
I have not. Well, I did see something on Speed about it, but I didn't...
Yeah, I have not heard where the channel's going to be yet, though. That's what's got me curious. Although I did notice that, like, on my satellite, 150 is Speed Now or Fox Sports 1. Yeah, but 151 is open. So maybe they'll just do it back to back. That would be nice,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just hoping that I can get both channels, because if not, then it's going to be limited when I'm able to watch.
Well, you'll have my house and Grandpa's house when and also when they change to NBC Sports Network.
And you guys both have Cablevision here, right? Metrocast. So, well, that's if they have Fox 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't know yet because they haven't said where it's going to be.
Exactly.
But I don't see why, if they have Fox 1, why we wouldn't all be able to get Fox 2. It would behoove the companies to have that. That's going to be pretty big money for Fox, huh?
Yeah.
Apparently they're getting a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Well, okay. So, that is the end of the show here in Florida for Weekend Roundup, Racing Hotspot Weekend Roundup. Later this week, Racing Hotspot will be going to Disney World Speedway, Daytona, and maybe Daytona Beach. So we'll have a little bit of a history on where NASCAR started. So yeah, look for that. But until we see each other next week for Racing Hotspot Weekend Roundup in studio, back in studio. Well, actually, I don't know where we're going to do it. I may still be in New York. I don't know yet. We still haven't figured out how I'm getting home. I'm flying back to New York, and then I don't know how I'm getting back to New Hampshire.
That makes things a little difficult.
Yeah, so we might do Weekend Roundup from multiple places again. Alright, so any final things you want to say, Dave?
Go Kyle.
Alright, we'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Actually, before you go,
Hold on.
I'm going to bring something up. I'm not sure if you want me to do it on air or not, but I'm going to do it anyway. But I'm probably not going to see you tomorrow, so I want to say happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
And have a great day, whatever you do tomorrow.
Thank you.
Now, everyone knows it's your birthday.
Alright. Stay on with me for a second, Dave. I'm gonna end out the show here. Goodbye, and we'll see you next week.
Take care, everybody.
Little girl, you like it loud. Come alive in the middle of a crowd. You wanna scream, you wanna shout.